Some more quadratics. We know it's equal to 0. We've got more than one ratio going on in here. Let's factor this. We can take a tan x out. So either tan is 0 or tan x minus 1 is 0, which means tan x is 1. These are all unit circle questions. I know that because I have zeros in them and ones. Where can y and x, where's y is 0 is what we have to look up. What happens at 0, pi, and 2 pi. Tan x, tan's positive in these two quadrants. But it's still a unit circle question. It's where your y value and your x value happen to have the same numbers, which in this case they're the root 2's. So if we look that one up, we should have pi over 4 and 5 pi over 4. And try the next one. The next one's a tricky one. It's got cos n signs, which means we have to use some sort of identity to simplify that. So it's your choice what you want to do, what you want to replace. But I know cos squared and sine squared are related to each other by the identity sine squared plus cos squared is 1, or the handy rearrangement. So if I see cos squared, I can replace it with 1 minus sine squared, which means there's a whole question about sines now. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to move these answers from over here. Okay, let's get rid of our brackets. Okay, it's a quadratic. Rules for quadratics, we want them equal to 0. Our x squared term, in this case our sine squared term, be positive, and collect all your like terms. So move everything to the right. So I'm going to get 3 sine squared plus 2 sine x's. 3 minus 2 is 1, but on the other side it's minus 1. And so we're going to factor this. This is a complex trinomial. We need things that multiply to 3 and add to 2. Sorry, negative 3 and add to 2. Our numbers are 3 and negative 1. Because it's complex, we got to write out in steps. And we're going to split it in half and common factor each half. The only thing you can take out of these two terms is 1. And it's a negative 1. We know we're on the right track because our brackets match. So we have sine x plus 1 and 3 sine x minus 1. So either this is 0 or this is 0. Now the first one is kind of nice. So that's a unit circle question. Where can that be? Negative 1. This is y over r. So the only place that's possible is 3 pi over 2. This one's 1 over 3, whereas sine positive, C-A-S-T. Unfortunately, this is not a unit circle question. So I need to do an inverse of 1/3. And on my calculator, I got 0.34 radians. So to find x, well, x happens to actually be the first one for this quadrant. But the other one is pi minus 0.34. So we'll call that 2.8. And there's our answers. If you get something that's made up of more than one ratio, but they can't divide evenly right off the bat, like this one here, I could divide it, common factor it out, means you have to use an identity and do some replacing.